Do you own a dual sport? Is it carburetor driven? Yep, they're coming for you. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it on the Rant and Red.
Look what happened. I woke up in a big old pile of money. Hey, all you KTM guys, come on. I'm Team Warren. Don't think I'm coming down on you. But I, on the other hand, and you on the other hand, and a lot of people on the other hand, why don't we have a 450? As a competitor, do a lot of ice.
But here's my thinking.
Hey guys, Joe here, 690 ADV, 690 Garage, 690 ADV.com. Please go get your decals, 690 ADV.com. That way you can win. That way you can win. When we get X amount of stickers out, that's the way you can win, is you got to have it, because you're going to have to take a picture of it, because I got to see it, and then you can win it. So, if you keep that in mind, 690adv.com. Go get your decal now. It's right there. Just go to the main page. Go down towards the bottom to the right-hand side. Right there, decal sign up form. Go do that. I would appreciate it. And then that way, we can give something away once we hit that certain mark of decals, and we're getting close. So, if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button, smash it, do it, be part of it, thumbs up, we appreciate you. Anyway, to the rant at hand, I don't know if you guys caught my 690 news, and my 690 news is basically what it is. It's news, it's stuff that I'm finding out. It may not be before you know about it, but it'll be before a lot of people know about it. And this 690 news was, yep, the end of the KLR650. 2019, they're discontinuing it. They're shutting it down. And for how long, we don't know. But it kind of got me a little bit. I've owned two of those bikes. I talk about those bikes. And I get it. It's kind of going across the board. If you haven't checked out that video, there's guys that are, well, they're kind of excited that it's gone. And then there's other guys that they just don't understand it. And then there's just guys that, are like, whatever, it's really not that big of a deal. They don't care too much. But that's not my issue at hand. My issue at hand is not that they discontinued the KLR. Yeah, hurts my feelings. I'm a little bummed out about it. And I do blame Kawasaki. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's their mentality. But that went a little too long, and guess what? Emissions. And that's what's kind of bugging me. And I'm sure it's bugging you. And if it is, tell me about it. Tell me what's bugging you about it, because you know what? We got these giant SUVs. We've got these, freaking big monster trucks. We've got all these things out there, but yet you're trying to tell me a carburetor cannot pass emissions in the United States? Have you not driven down our roads these days? Give me a break, man. Come on now. Come on, man. So that's my beef. But here's the deal. Yeah, KLR650. It's an emissions deal. We already know it. Emissions EPA. I get it. I'm about the environment. I understand. I am. I do. I get it. But my problem is we have all these other things that are just so much more bad for our environment than a little old KLR650. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But that's not it. That's not totally it. Because here's the deal. Just like the intro said. You got a carburetor driven dual sport? Is it on the chopping block? Is the APA coming for you? Is it going to come for our bikes? Emissions? Really? Come on, man. Our bikes are not that bad. They are not putting out the all these, whatever they want to call it, the CO2s and all that stuff. And you know what I mean? They're going to have some scientific thing saying, oh, yeah, it's putting out blah, 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 blah. But you know what? My biggest problem is it starts with the KLR. And we all know that Yamaha had problems in the past. And if you didn't know that Yamaha had problems in the past, if you don't know about that WR250R almost got discontinued in the United States. But it did not. And if you know Chronicles of Solid and some of those other guys, they did stuff on that bike and they thought it was gone. And it was sad because it's such a fantastic 250 dual sport. But it's not just that. It's, you know, these are bikes that are highly proven and they're great motorcycles, and they're just making these emissions so stringent these days that, I mean, you know, we got to get zero. I mean, I'm okay with the electric bikes. They just are not going to do what we want them to do. You know, if you get them there, get us some crazy hydrogen type battery that'll last a week, you know, without recharging it, we can drive across country, we'd be okay with that. But that's the problem. They don't. And I did a video on that too, that, you know, that's the problem with those bikes, is they just don't quite, you know, give us what we need. And that sucks, to be honest with you. That sucks. And so so it starts with the KLR. We almost lost the WR250R. Who's next? You know, there's bikes that they're not making tons of changes and upgrades and all these things. Who's on the hit list next? Who's next? DRZ 400? When's the last time was that bike updated? Carburetor driven. So basically, is that next? Are we going to lose the DRZ 400? A staple in our dual sport community? What about the DR650? Are we going to lose that one too? Could be. You know, carburetor driven. And that's just part of it. But it sucks. It just sucks. You just cannot tell me that these bikes are polluting more than some of these big SUVs and these cars and all of these vehicles that are on the road right now. I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on it. And then guess what? Another carburetor driven. Another one's been around. Did a rant on that one. The XR650. And you know, is that one next? Is that one going to be on the hit list? You know, so how much longer are these bikes going to be around? You guys tell me. What do you think? Do you think that our dual sport community is doomed? I mean, is it? Are we doomed? Are we not going to get the emissions to pass these bikes, and we're going to lose them? They're going to take them away from us, you know, so we're going to have to, go to fuel injected? And there's nothing wrong. I think fuel injected is fantastic. But there's something about a carburetor-driven motorcycle, it's just different. It feels different. Now, granted, if you dual sport and you do go to the mountains and you go into altitude, fuel injected is fantastic. But there are things that can go wrong. You know, you can get a clogged injector. It can basically sputter. I mean, there's several things that can go wrong with those bikes. But does it ever happen? Not too often. I don't ever hear about it, and I've yet to see anything about it. And if you have a bike that has had, you know, a fuel injection problem, tell me about it. Put it in the comment section. Not only that, I want you to guys tell me all about, you know, what you feel about what's going on with the emissions in the EPA and what they're doing to our bikes. Because it's, you know, it's not the KLR. I get it. It's old, it's ugly, it's outdated. They haven't changed a whole lot to that bike. You know, I get it. I do. I get it. But it doesn't change the fact it's not just that. It's the KLR, and then it goes to the next bike, and then the next bike, and then the next bike. I mean, we're just starting to get the good stuff, man. So, but if they're going to give us fuel-injected bikes and keep, you know, this going, then that's awesome. But we don't know. That's the whole thing. There's no announcement. So, will Kawasaki give us a different bike in my life? Nobody knows. But you know, if they kill off the KLR, as much as I know everybody's got, I think it's almost a split audience. But there are some dedicated KLR guys, man. There's just a bunch of them, and they love their bikes, and they are really, really inexpensive. You can get into dual sport with those bikes. They don't break the bank. They may be the cheapest of all the dual sports to get into, and it's just sad. That's just my personal opinion, and it's pretty much. I've gotten some pretty credible evidence from some subscribers and other people, and it's pretty much true. It's gone. So are they going to revamp it and bring it back? I think they will. I think they will. What do you think? Do you think that they're just going to knock it off because it's a saturated market with KLRs, or do you think they're going to bring it back and slap maybe a 6th gear in it or fuel injection? Maybe beef it up. Maybe put a twin in it. I don't know. Maybe you know. Maybe you know somebody. Maybe you know something that nobody else does. You put it in there. We help everybody out. But where does it stop? That's really my beef with the EPA and all these different emissions tests and all these things that are going on. I just think it's a sad day because I think the picture is a lot bigger than what's being given. Does it stop with the XR650L? Or does it move on to the Suzuki platforms, the DRs, the DRZs, and some of the other carburetor-driven bikes. I personally like carburetor bikes, but I do love fuel injected too. Don't get me wrong, but I just think this is the beginning of it. Everride did a thing or a video on the death of the dual sport, and I didn't believe it, and I was like, you're crazy, Everride. You make great videos, and it's just not gonna happen. They're not gonna do it, man. It's this KLR650. It's forever, bro. It's never. No, it has happened. So anyway, like I said, you guys comment, let me know. Everybody's been chiming in and giving great info and helping out with the channel. I appreciate you, I really do, to no end. But yeah, 690adv.com. Please go sign up and get your decal. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. I'll get it. It's not going to be an immediate mail. I usually try to do one mail out a week, but it is free and you can win. And we are going to have some pretty cool stuff because we have gear that I use, and it will be new. It's not going to be used, but we're going to give some stuff away, and it's really cool stuff that you can use if you're an adventure rider or just like to camp or whatever you like to do. But like I said, I do appreciate your time so much. It's valuable to me that you do spend your time with me. It's fantastic here in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's about 70 degrees, hardly any breeze. It's nice out, man. If you haven't smashed that freaking subscribe button, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up. We sure do appreciate it. And thanks for watching. I really do. You guys have a fantastic weekend, and we love you. 690 out.